To me, one of the keys for the San Francisco 49ers defense heading into Super Bowl 58 will be whether or not they can stop the crack toss sweep. The Packers in the divisional round were able to get big gains on the ground running this play, and then the Lions were able to get big gains and a touchdown in the conference championship game. In fact, in these two games, I really only ever saw the 49ers stop the crack toss sweep for no gain one time. So if I'm a member of the Kansas City Chiefs coaching staff, I'm taking a look at the film and I'm coming up with various ways to run this play. If we have tight formations, bunch formations, I'm going to take a look at how the Lions and the Packers ran it. I'm coming up with various ways to do it and force the 49ers to defensively stop it on a consistent basis, because that really hasn't happened in the last two games. So what we're going to do for this video is we're going to take a look at the film from the conference championship game. We're going to talk about what the 49ers need to do better to stop this play, or else it might be a long day. So here we have the first play of the conference championship game. The Lions have actually scripted to call crack toss sweep as their first play, and I think they wanted to do it because they wanted to see how the 49ers were going to respond after that week prior against the Packers. And on this play, you're going to see that Sam Laporta is going to go in motion, and then he's going to go block Chase Young. We're going to have a crack on Nick Bosa by Josh Reynolds. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to go ahead and crack down on Lenore. We're going to have Penei Sewell pull around and be the lead blocker. We're going to have outside zone blocked by the rest of the offensive line. And let's go ahead and run the play so you guys can see what's going to happen. And then we're going to talk about what the 49ers do on this play. And the 49ers actually do a pretty decent job, in my opinion. They hold it to a 4-yard gain. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening. So with the motion by Laporta pre-snap, it actually influences the linebacking core for the 49ers, Greenlaw and Warner. They're going to step to their right, and that actually takes them further inside, and that helps the Lions' offensive linemen, who can then try to get outside of them to hook them. What the Lions are trying to basically do is they're trying to create a situation where Montgomery's going to come outside and then just press and get vertical. They're trying to create a lane. So what the 49ers defensively are going to try and do is you're going to have Ward come up. Now, I would like Ward to be a little bit more aggressive. I know it's hard on a corner to do that, but he can't hesitate. He's got to come up, be aggressive, and really force the play back to the inside. Gibson, he is obviously the filler of the lane. His job is to come up and make sure to tackle the runner. And if Fred Warner can scrape over and help out as well, that'd be great. What I would like to see is Bosa fight a little bit more. The minute he gets that pressure of a crack down on him, fight that pressure a little bit more. Try to get back to the outside to help on the play. But let's go ahead and with that knowledge, let's go back through it. So you kind of see the feet of Warner go inside and then have to go back outside. You know, Graham is not able to get to him. Graham, I had it before. Graham, Glasgow, he's not able to get there in time. And so Warner's able to get off of the block and, again, force Montgomery to go out of bounds. Here's the end zone view of this play. Like I said, not a horrible rep. I would have liked Ward to be more aggressive, as I mentioned. We'll go from the sideline again. Like him to come flying up. I want him to attack that outside shoulder of Penei Sewell. I know that's hard. It's an offensive tackle, big man running full speed, and Penei Sewell's an athlete. But you've got to come up. You can't be hesitant, because if you do, that's the situation. And what you guys have to understand is when this play is being run, and we'll talk about it with the end zone view, what they're also trying to do is create gaps in the defense. Yes, they're trying to create a lane, but they're also attacking. And the more that this play can be stretched out, the more that a lane will be created. If you can keep and force the back to come back quicker, it's harder to find that lane. Whereas if you're allowed as a running back to keep stretching, more lanes will open up, allowing you that chance. So that's why I'm saying I would like Ward to come up. Not a bad rep, like I said. Let's go ahead and go, though, to the touchdown play, because I know that everybody talks about Chase Young and his effort. So we just saw where Penei Sewell was the lead blocker. On this particular play, instead, it's going to be Laporta who's going to come around and be the lead blocker. Crack, And what we're going to have is Penei Sewell sell like he's coming across this way, where everybody else is going to block outside zone to the right on the offensive line. It's going to influence again Warner. This time Warner's not going to be able to get away from Glasgow, who's going to be able to get there and block him. So let's run the play. And what I want to say is notice, as you can see, Ward is not super aggressive on this play. He's a little hesitant to come up on Laporta. I want that to be attacked. We need to attack that. Lenoir's trying to fight back to the outside. Again, I'd like to see Bosa fighting back to the outside. But what I really want to see is I want to see Ward attacking this outside shoulder. I don't want to let Jahmyr Gibbs keep running and keep stretching the defense, because what that does is it puts pressure on his teammate who's supposed to be the lane filler, Gibson, the safety. So on this particular play, because he's able to stretch out, now you can see Gibbs is able to make the cut back on Gibson, able to get up. Warner's still getting blocked. He's unable to make the tackle. But you've got to attack it. You've got to attack it to the outside, force everything inside, create a narrow lane. When you don't create the narrow lane, it just gives more space for the running back. So let's go ahead and watch from the end zone view, and you'll see what I mean. Instead of coming up and being aggressive right here and closing that space, notice how he's going to keep drifting to the outside. So Laporta's just like, okay, I'll just take you outside. Now there's more of a window for his buddy Gibson to come up and make the tackle. See how that space? Now Gibbs makes the cut. Gibson misses the tackle. The pursuit doesn't take great angles. I know everybody said I'm talking about Chase Young. Not all the best angles. You should always expect that the player is going to break the tackle, even if you're in pursuit, and it's a touchdown for the Lions. Let's go to the third version now of this particular play. And on this one, now remember, we just had motion by Laporta across. We just had Penei Sewell pull. Well, now we're going to use Jameson Williams as the decoy. He's going to go in motion. We're going to have a crack. We're then going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown be a lead blocker. We're then going to have Decker be a lead blocker as well. And I want you to see the difference in how Lenoir and Ambry Thomas, how they particularly attack on this play and what they do the minute they recognize the pin pull. Well, the crack toss sweep. It's a pin pull, but it's a crack toss sweep. Notice how Lenoir, he attacks. Ambry Thomas is coming up. They're trying to force everything to the inside, and they actually do get what they need, which is that lane, that tight lane. Unfortunately, the guys in the middle get kind of caught up. You're going to see Gibson get caught by 74. That's Awasika for the Lions. Instead of fighting to the outside to force again, running back to the inside, he's going to undercut. Because he undercuts, he's going to leave his buddy, Fred Warner, to be blocked. And then Montgomery's able to get to the outside and get a gain. Force everything back inside. Gibson's not able to get over, make the tackle. So one of the problems for the 49ers is you have like some guys, you're just not able to put it all together. You have guys willing to come up there on a right angle, but maybe the lane hasn't been closed down enough, forced tighter. And so that's one of the problems for the 49ers on this particular play. Now let's go ahead and take a look, and we'll look at it from the end zone view, excuse me, so you guys can see. I like how Lenoir attacks it. Hey, he is aggressive. He's forcing everything back to the inside. But what we don't get, again, is don't go underneath. By going underneath here, this is what I mean. This is why I say Gibson just has to keep fighting right here, because then he forces Montgomery to cut back into who? Fred Warner. But now because Gibson's going to go underneath and around, that allows Montgomery instead to go right here, Warner's going to get caught up as well on Awasika, and that's why it becomes a bigger gain. So it's about doing your job, right? Doing your job. And that's where the 49ers have had some issues, is one player might not be aggressive enough, and that's what allows these plays to happen. So now we're going to see, as I mentioned, I saw it stopped really only once for no gain. Here's the good version of stopping the crack toss sweep from the conference championship game. So we're going to have motion. We're going to have that crack toss sweep. Again, Lenoir is aggressive, okay? He is aggressive. He's getting up there. He is cutting back. He's making Montgomery cut back. Now that lane, and notice how Chase Young is playing it. Now there's no lane for Montgomery to get away from Gibson. It's an easy tackle, okay? Run it again for you guys. Down block. See how Chase Young keeps fighting? He doesn't just keep going upfield. He's fighting to try and get back outside. And one of the things that he does is he engages with Laporta, slows down Laporta, which gives Lenoir enough time to get to the outside. And you'll see that from the end zone view. And what you'll see on this good example is just how tight the lane is. So Montgomery can't get by. Let's watch the play again. So we're going to get the down, the crack. There's the lane. Notice it's a very small lane compared to what he's had on the previous plays. Now, boom, cut. There you go. Okay. To me, the 49ers defense, if they're going to try and take this on and stop this play, the players, the corners, and the safeties and the nickels and all the DBs are going to have to sacrifice a little bit. They're going to have to be aggressive against pulling offensive linemen. Because this right here, this is how you stop this play. Do your job. Let your teammate come up, fill the lane for you. You forced it back inside. It's a great rep by everybody involved on that play, and that's why I say it's a great stop. So for me, that's what I would say. That's how I would stop this play. So hopefully the 49ers, if you're a 49ers fan, they have been working on this, on being aggressive, coming up, closing down the distance so that the defense can't be stretched out by the offense. On outside zone, you always want to be allowed to, hey, if we can keep going to the outside and create stretches in the defense, it creates seams. Great. Close that down. Be aggressive. I'm going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to be looking to see if that's what the 49ers do. Because if they don't, like I said, it could be a long day. I would run this play multiple times. I'd force the 49ers to show that they can stop it. So I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for this matchup. But I am going to say that the 49ers run defense has to show up against plays like this, or else it could be the Chiefs that win the game. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I was able to explain to you what it is that the 49ers defense needs to do to really make the stops on this play. If you wanted to say so, you could even just have, for example, Ward walk up and be outside, be a little bit tighter, especially against these tight formations. So that way he doesn't have as much space to run to. He can be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe put Lenoir right up on the point man of a tight formation so that they can immediately go down on the crack block. There's different ways to do things. But when it comes down to it, the importance is do your job that you're asked to do. If you're asked to force that play back inside, sometimes you just got to be aggressive, come up, close the space down so that your teammate can make the play. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're enjoying this type of content, please make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time. I want to give a shout out to all of our booster members that are supporting the channel. If you wish to have your name in a video just like this, please make sure to join at the link down below at the booster member or above. On the next screen, there will be another recommended video. It will be a breakdown video, most likely. Check it out. See what you think of it. Some of them might be commentary, but most of my videos are breakdowns. We'll see you later, though, and have a good one.